Welcome in, everybody, wherever you are, however you may be listening. This is the Wednesday wrap-up, and we got Herb here on vacation. What's happening, man?
Man, just be lucky I sobered up enough, put some clothes on, and we're ready for the show this morning.
I mean,
right back to the beach after
this. Putting on clothes, that's an important piece. That being said, I don't know. You might end up with a lot of viewers. Probably change the profile of the show a little bit. May not be suitable. I guess suitable for radio, right? They can't see you anyway.
Right. So, we'll be safe there. Just the YouTube viewers, we don't know. Could go either way.
And, I guess smooth jazz would actually kind of make sense.
That's why they're the lead-in. Oh, okay.
That's right. It's funny, though, because the station is based out of Atlanta, so it's not quite as early as you'd think.
There you go.
Man.
You're like, what did we get ourselves into? Sorry, guys.
Hey, way to start off weird.
I think that's what I do, man. Weird is what I do.
So how's vacation going?
Man, it's good, man. We're at the beach. We're relaxing. Honestly, there's not much to it. Yesterday, the beach wasn't looking that great. I laid around all day. That's a good vacation. People are like, are you good? I said, I'm perfect.
It's funny because it's when people go on vacation, so many times they schedule so much stuff. And I don't get that. Like, I don't want to have to come home and then want a vacation from my vacation.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I don't want to come back more tired than when I left. I'm already tired.
Yes. I'm usually like, look, is there one thing that you want to do this week? Here's that one thing that you want to do. Here's that one place you want to eat. That's fine. Exactly. We got a week. I don't want stuff in the rest of these days. Like you said, if I'm lazy at 5, I don't want to have to be like, oh, hey, jump up. We got to run because, such starts at 5:30. Let's go. I'm like, I'm good. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like I'm good with having a couple of excursions, so to speak, right? Like, it's like, okay, let's go check this out. Let's check this out. And then otherwise, I just kind of want to play it by ear. Like, oh, if we want to go do something cool. And if you don't, also cool.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to run the whole time. No. And I've done vacations both ways, right? Like, where you're running the whole time and it's cool. You see a lot of stuff, right? But then once it's over, you're just like, wow, I'm tired.
That was like our Atlanta vacation, since you mentioned Atlanta. My wife tricked me by saying, yeah, hey, I just want to get away. Let's go pick a nice place with a big TV, catch up on shows. That's okay. Day 2, I had to buy new shoes because I hadn't bought good walking shoes. And I was like, okay, kind of got tricked, but that's fine. But we saw a lot of stuff, ate at a lot of different places, shopped a lot. It was fine if that's what you're getting into. But, when we do cabins or beaches, it's out in the middle of wherever and just chilling. So I enjoy both. I just need to know before we go what we're doing.
Well, and it's funny because, when we were living in Mexico, there would be, my wife would be like, oh, let's go for a walk. And I'm like, okay. And, I'm thinking we're just going to like cruise around, whatever. And then it ends up being like a hike, right? Like, we walked the whole town. And so the next time she's like, oh yeah, let's go for a walk. I was like, okay, time out.
20-second or full?
Full. Because I need to know exactly what type of shoes I should be wearing. Because the first time I'm wearing sandals and we walked for like 10 miles. And I'm like, what isn't comfortable in a 10-mile hike? Sandals. So I was like, okay, do I need shoes or are we just like kind of cruising around? Because, if we're cruising around, I'm sticking with the sandals. If we're going for like a walk, let me grab some shoes. Like,
I need to read the whole pamphlet before we go on this walk. Like,
just kind of clue me in a little bit, right? Like, pretend like you're a Lakers coach, right? Like, you have the board. We're not really going to pay attention to it, but you have it.
Oh, where are you at, Raj? That was for you. You're like, wait a minute.
No, you're on vacation. So is he. He won't be here.
My butt says that's what he comes in saying. Herb was on vacation. He forgot to tell me that he was doing the show.
Right.
I'm here for it, Rod. I'm here for it.
Man. So we do have, in theory, it says the host has joined. So we do have a kind of a unique experience for the Wednesday wrap up this morning is you guys will get a tune in to the press conference for the Seattle Storm. They have a game at 8 a.m. Pacific time this morning, and that makes their press conference about to kick off. And so we will tune into that live during this show. For those of you that haven't heard my show before, I am credentialed for the Storm and the WNBA. And although we won't be asking questions in this one, this is a live press conference that we'll tune into once it goes live. But not going to ask questions in this one only because I'm not really sure how the two video programs will mesh or won't. So last thing I want to do is tune in and then have weird mic issues, like weird feedback. And, I'm not trying to wreck a press conference. So yeah, as soon as that does kick off, we will bring that in. You'll be able to see it on screen for our video viewers. And of course, for our radio audience, you'll be able to hear it. So, but should be kind of fun. All right. And until then, sticking with WNBA, we have Sue Bird headed to the Hall of Fame. And for those that didn't watch her play, just a couple of notable stats. This is probably about a third of her actual accolades, but, just to give you an idea, 4-time WNBA champ. It's a good way to start. 13-time All-Star, 5-time All-Pro or All WNBA first team, 3-time All WNBA second team, 3-time WNBA assist leader, and the all-time assist leader, 2-time peak performer, WNBA 10th, 15th, 20th, and 25th anniversary teams, 5-time Olympic gold medalist. Sounds like a Hall of Fame career there.
Yes. Yes.
And that doesn't get into any of her like overseas championships or anything like that. Yeah. But one of the things that's really cool about it, not only is she going to the Hall of Fame, obviously deserved, she's going to be the first ever WNBA player to have a statue unveiled. So she's going to have a statue here at Climate Pledge Arena. They are unveiling that on the 17th. And that is going to be a full day event. So they're going to do the unveiling. It's going to be Fan Fest. And then they have a game against the Mercury at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So it's going to be a whole day of fan experience. So if you're here in Seattle, August 17th, going to be a pretty awesome day. I believe that is a Sunday. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's a Sunday because I think I'm supposed to fly out that next morning. So, yeah.
No, Seabird. I mean, and first, those are all her accolades. It's not even touching on, like you said, the overseas or just the intangibles as her kind of being the face of the WNBA for a while there, a great ambassador for the sport. I think even the casual kind of, okay, I don't really watch WNBA person would know the name Sue Bird and what she's done for the sport, and kind of even like one of those underrated qualities you have these days, like no negatives to say about the person, just somebody who showed up every day, played, did not create drama, was great everywhere she went, starting at UConn to the WNBA, to overseas, to Olympic gold. I mean, amazing and well-deserved. And it's like one of those, whoever argues against it should not be allowed to watch basketball anymore, sort of thing. If anyone had anything to say, yeah, you're null and void. We don't listen to you anymore. No, I mean, you can't say enough about what she's done for the sport, man. So well-deserved. So I was surprised to know that she was the first, not that she doesn't deserve it, but I thought maybe along the way they would have, but it's about time they started recognizing some of their pioneers in the sport. So kudos to them and kudos to her.
Yeah, well, and it's funny that you say that because I would have I wouldn't have thought she was the first to get a statue either.
Right.
Right. But I mean, I guess if there was a first, that one makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it's funny because there were some of her accolades, because I looked them up, because I was just like, oh, I remember that she went to the All-Star game like every year, basically. When's late?
Yes. I'm late for a day, but when still beat Raj here. So
right. But some of the things I completely forgot about, like some of her overseas accomplishments, winning 5 championships over there. I mean, so yeah, some crazy stats. Like if you want to check out a ridiculous accolade list, go check out Super.
Yeah. She was, I remember when they first got started, I think her and Tarasi were making like $1 million playing for Russian leagues at the beginning, because you had to still supplement what you were getting from, WNBA, and maybe the endorsements hadn't reached the level of kind of what they're reaching now, which is just a shame, because that's somebody you should have kept at home and had doing stuff. And, she's also been great, behind the mic. You've seen her and Tarasi doing commentary, and then you've seen her on several podcasts. Like, that's a person, if the WNBA was doing it right, should have been everywhere, So, I'm always taking shots at the WNBA because I think they mismanage stuff, but at least they're kind of making it right now. And, but I guess that's maybe more Seattle than it is the WNBA. So I don't know if I can give them full credit, but this should have been one of those people that you saw everywhere, because, Sue Bird was just amazing on and off the court. So.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we do have, all right. For some reason my share went away though. So let me see if I can. I had it all queued up, and then as soon as it went live, it removed it. So weird enough.
It does not like us this morning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're trying something for the first time, so. And, there we go. Let's see. Okay. But in the meantime, we will pull that off since they're not live yet.
The nephew just came through and he was screaming, "Hey, they brought us pancakes."
And okay, cool. Just making sure that my microphone is off.
That was the first thing I clicked. I was like, "Oh God, let me not be the one to mess up."
Yeah, no, it's the little things, right? Like, yes. I want to be able to go to these again sometime. But the other thing that is going on right now, All-Star, sticking with the WNBA, All-Star selections are done, and they are doing something similar to the NBA, where they have the 2 captains, they select their teams.
Right.
And I guess the question is, do you like that layout, or do you like it East versus West?
The WNBA could still get away with East versus West because they try. But I like what they did last year when it was, Olympic team versus all the rest of you people who, And I don't know if y'all can even read it. It says, "I didn't want to come." That has nothing to do with this show. That was just the first shirt I grabbed. This is what you do on vacation. Crap, I got to go on the podcast.
And
let me grab the
it's
first
funny
shirt.
Because I didn't even really watch the show that's from, but I know that line. Yeah, because that was a Will and Grace.
Oh
staple.
yes.
I never really watched the show, but that clip I've seen 5 million times.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come.
This describes me at most things, except for this show. And I was on time for this show. So
You were. And it's
I-
funny. I didn't think you were coming.
Recording in progress.
Oh, here we go. Let's go live to this press conference.
Yeah, and definitely do. The one thing is the timing is always a little bit different, early games, and then the other thing is just very loud. One game in particular, like SpongeBob SquarePants was playing the entire, so it's like the kids aren't necessarily like, they're just loud and cheering, and it provides a atmosphere of sometimes like just noise. And there are other times, there are a lot more directive cheering. But at the end of the day, we're hooping in front of, some kids who, look up to us. And so kind of keep everything in perspective.
All right, we'll go to Sam. Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, kind of following up on the camp day question. With the league growing the way that it has, there are some people, whether it be decision makers or others, that believe that the W has outgrown camp days, where I feel like that's personally one of the main reasons why so many younger fans have, grown to the game over the last couple of decades, because camp days have been around longer than most people that are in the W right now. I'm just kind of wondering, how do you feel about that, and how has camp days kind of grown?
Yeah, I think that's what makes our league unique and different. The accessibility, the fact that we are able to have days like this. The reality of it is the summertime. So whether it's camp days, summer camps, kids in general have an option to watch our league and really look up to the players and see them in real time. So, I'm not sure if that narrative fits. The growth does. Kids are important. Kids have dreams, and it's about representation and visualizing what you can do and who you can be. And I think this is great representation for kids to see.
In the back, in the back.
Hey, Coach, a couple quick ones for me. I feel like Sunday, Dominique had a game, right? And we want to continue to see her capitalize on that. What are maybe some of the things that you guys have discussed or talked about to try to get more from that from her kids?
Yeah, just having a routine for her now. It's it's important, not just her preparation for games, but prior to that, the weight room, the PD work, the film, and like kind of, last week we did talk about just having a more consistent routine, and that then informs like what you do in the game. So her readiness, I thought in Atlanta wasn't quite there, but her readiness in New York was. She was really communicative with me and the staff during the game, just before she got in the game, just to make sure, the coverages, we were switching coverages a lot. So being locked in there. And so I knew from that, those interactions that she was, her readiness was there. So, and then the amount of production in the minutes, if you kind of look at her statistics, that's what she's been doing in small doses. And so it's just a matter of staying in that routine and having that consistency, no matter what those minutes look like.
How these last couple games on the road shaped your identity, especially the defense?
We've improved there. I still think rebounding is a deficiency that we need to continue to, emphasize and work on and be committed to. But we had we defended differently in Atlanta than we did in New York. And it was good to see the change from game to game with a small amount of preparation time to be able to execute consistently and at a high level. I think it showed a lot of growth and improvement for this particular group and where we can be at this point of the season. And then the other thing is just, it's hard to win games on the road, no matter how they look, beautiful, ugly, last shot, up a lot. It's difficult to do that. And so it's a sign that our team is really finding ways to be productive, no matter the opponent, no matter how the game is looking.
If you don't mind, we're gonna go back to Zoom and then I
Go
can
ahead.
back level. All right, Andrew, go ahead on Zoom.
Thank you very much. Coach, just first want to ask about Lexi. Is that the same illness that she had before? And also, what is your routine for these early games in terms of, do you like coffee? Do you like a certain fruit? She's pretty energized right now. So, just those questions.
Yeah, Lexi is the same thing, but she's improving. And no, I'm not a coffee person. My hands will start shaking, and you probably see a different version of me if I drink some caffeine. It's about, I think, it's the night before preparation. So it's getting sleep and making sure I'm locked into what this day is going to entail. A different routine, a different hour of the day, but it's basketball. So I'm a faster, so I don't eat. I probably should eat something so I don't pass out. But the routine the routine doesn't change as far as like the preparation and the mindset.
That's healthy either way. Good luck for the game.
Thank you.
All right, Brendan, go ahead on Zoom.
Yeah, hey coach. I wanted to ask about Mac. What impresses you about what she brings to the team since she's been here in the last month, and how does she kind of emulate that famous tagline of hard work pays off?
Yeah, if you look at, Mac on the bench in that Atlanta game, she was, so engaged and in tune, hopping around, and, the excitement is real. When she was, when we re-signed her, our team was very excited about her because of how she impacted us during camp. She was in camp. She was here prior to camp, doing 2 days on her own, and her work ethic showed, and that garnered respect from our team. So, she embodies it. It's not just when she feels good. She's working out all the time. And staying ready and staying prepared for the moment. And she's really seizing this opportunity as far as it's just like the culture piece of it, being very positive, fitting seamlessly with our group. And again, the hard work is a commonality between all of us. And so she's really embodying that.
Thank you. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, Kasim, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Hey, Coach. What have you thought about the looks you guys have gotten from three this season? You guys shoot some of the fewest threes in the W right now, but you're the top percentage team 3-point wise. What have you thought about your looks from outside?
I think that our looks have been really good. A lot of our spray opportunities, driving into the paint and kicking it and moving it one more. I think our shot quality nets really good efficiency from three because we're taking clean looks. So a lot of times we're not, we want to play fast and then quick strike, but, we also want to take great shots. And I think a lot of our threes are that assisted and within the flow of our offense.
You've already seen that once when you look at their young pieces that just added the time the other day.
Yeah.
First Morrow, that first time coach, been here now 5 years, but you were a player too. Just when you look at the team, it's maybe like more fearless just because you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
What do you expect in terms of that one game?
Yeah, those sometimes are the games that are difficult to prepare for, kind of scary because there's nothing to lose, just going hard and having an opportunity to showcase what you can do in this league. And I think Morrow did that at the tail end of our game. And Seattle just kind of got into a groove. And I think, the same for Lacan. Just to me, she was the most physical defender the other day, just coming in and really showcasing what she can do and very, again, fearless. So I love the growth of our league, for those players in particular to stick on teams and have an opportunity now. Coaching against them is another thing. So the preparation is, again, matching that intensity, matching that physicality, or exceeding that because of that youthfulness and all those things.
All right.
Yeah, that's, and you got 3 offers too much.
Yeah.
For one of them to be Gabby, coming back into what is now feeling like a full season for her. Just how exciting is it to, see her growth and how she's been transitioning back into the W.
I'm so proud of her. She works so hard and she's so deserving of it because she's a great teammate and a great person. She does it the right way. She approaches her day to day in a professional way, but in also like a humble way. And I vibe with that a lot. I don't have to tell her a lot of things to know that she's giving her all and giving her best. And, she's so smart. She's so versatile, and also just carrying a big load for France that she had, really, I feel like gave her the confidence and the boost to come into this full season and attack it really. And she's, I talk about having her for 15 games or 44 games or one game. I always have that trust and commitment to her because I know what she can do for a team. The confidence is building, and I love that now we can say you're an all-star, so that confidence should not ever drop again. But I'm really impressed with the consistency that she's showing, but it's not a surprise to me. Like, I knew that she can do it. Thanks. Yeah.
All right. There we go. So yeah, had to pop into that. So welcome to part of what I do all the time.
That was pretty cool though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun being involved in these, especially being afforded the ability to be involved when they're away.
Right.
Is one of the things that's cool. Obviously, when you're credentialed in town, right, you go to the press conference live and all of that. But the fact that their media team allows you to be part of it while they're away is pretty great.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I wish the whole league was a little bit better about.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I figure that's all just a work in progress, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to capitalize, now is the time to capitalize when you're having more eyeballs on you and start to make some changes like that for the better. So now's the time. If you're going to do it, now's the time. So I know we're about to reach the top of the hour or the middle hour. What do they call it? Top of the hour? Anyway, so I don't know if you wanted me to. Well, just there was a couple comments from it for sure. It's nice to see that there's you can kind of see with her energy level and some of the comments, like these early games are not for everybody. You can kind of see where slow starts come from. Because, for Alabama, we always like all the 11 a.m. games. We just bad at 11 a.m. games, and you can kind of see it in there where people are like, your whole routine of like, I'm used to this time and later and this, and all of a sudden you throw in a morning one and they're like, okay, can we wait till the second or third quarter to kind of wake up? So you just kind of see it even from the press conference. It was good.
No, and that's definitely true, especially when you figure, like, for the Storm, a lot of their games are 7 p.m. games Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you're used to playing at 7 p.m. and your press conference is 6 a.m., that's a wildly different approach.
Yes. I don't even know how you get
not a
ready
coffee
for that.
drinker, man.
Well, I know when she said that, I was like, look, I'm not either, but I adapted. You know what I mean? So,
just embrace the jitters. It'll be all right.
Yes.
That being said, you're not wrong. That does get us to the halfway point of the show, which is when we have to say goodbye to our radio audience. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch the rest of the show on my YouTube channel at Football-Talk or on Roku, National Streaming Sports. So yeah, back to your regularly scheduled programming of smooth jazz coming up next. That being said, yeah, exactly. And if you listen to the top of the hour, I mean, man.
You know how this all ties in.
Yeah, that's right. So good. All right. So moving on from the WNBA, Major League Baseball. We got a couple of things going on. One pretty cool, one just a head scratcher, and we're going to start out with that one. So, Rafael Devers, Boston Red Sox is where he created all his drama, I guess is the best way to say that. And basically, they moved him off of his position. They wanted him to stick with the team. They made him a DH. Then they wanted to make him first baseman. And basically, he said he's not going to play first base, forced his way off the team. He joins the Giants. And they're like, yeah, when they interview him, they want to make you a first baseman. And he essentially is like, yeah, they cash my checks. They write my checks. That's, I'll play wherever it is they want me to play. He has not played first base yet. And he was supposed to do a first base workout with Giants legend Will Clark.
Yes.
Hall of Famer, like perennial all-star. Just, I mean, even if you're mad about the position you're going to go play, because I think his natural position's third base, how do you not show up to that meeting?
Right.
Just respect of baseball in general.
Thank you. What did I tell you? Not even a baseball watcher anymore, for real. No, I know the name Will Clark. Yeah. And what you said, the respect level. If you're not going to do it, you show up to that man's face and you tell him in person. You don't just stand him up. You go have a conversation, but I don't know. It's just turning into way more than it really should be. And why'd you make the comment, I'll play anywhere? And then you get there and you're like, I mean, I didn't mean anywhere. I could.
Right.
So,
at the same time, it's not like, he's a good baseball player, but he's not amazing. So at some point, your attitude will outweigh your skill.
Yep.
And eventually you'll find your way out of baseball if you're not careful. Now, the contract that he has, fully guaranteed because it's baseball. But at the same time, you might be shortening your career by being a problem.
Yes.
And now the only stories we know about this guy, because before you're like, oh yeah, he's hitting good, right?
Right.
Now the only stories you have are him being a problem now in 2 ball clubs.
Right.
And I get that you were a little bit mad. You sign a contract and then they move you out of your position into DH. Okay. I guess you can be mad. Pretty sure that contract still pays. So I don't know why you're that mad.
Yeah.
And then they want to move you to first base, which again, who cares? Right? Like if you're a good third baseman, you should be able to figure out first base.
Yes. And from what you read, he wasn't like spectacular at third. So, there's a reason why they wanted to move you off that position in the first place. But
they signed a better guy, but it's not like he's a terrible third baseman, but at the same time, he wasn't good enough to not sign another third baseman.
Right. So I don't know. And you're seeing more and more these days in the different leagues, how they're kind of banding together against these kind of problems. And I don't think some of these players are taking notice of it. Yeah, like you said, you've got the contract, so you're going to get that paid. But your next step might not be there if you continue along this. And the owners have shown other sports, like, hey, if we don't like somebody, we'll all just kind of nod at each other and that person's not getting paid. That person's not around anymore. And there doesn't have to be anything publicly said anymore. There is no, oh, here's an incriminating email. It's just everybody kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, we just don't want to deal with it anymore. There's tons of other guys who are waiting for a spot, who are wanting to get paid, will take less money and do whatever the team needs them to do. Like,
exactly.
You guys got to stop feeling entitled.
You're talking about the top 1% of athletes, right? So there's a never-ending supply behind them. And unless you are just one of one, right? Like Ohtani could be a real problem and they'll keep giving him shots.
Right.
Right. Or Judge. right? Like if he wanted to be a prima donna, like, he'd get away with a lot of it. You're all right.
Yeah.
You know, you're above average.
Yeah.
That doesn't afford you a lot of diva mentality.
No.
You know,
No.
I mean, Antonio Brown got away with what he did for so long because he was an elite talent.
Right.
If you had that same kind of attitude out of a mid-level guy, he's gone.
They're gone. Yeah.
Right?
Like the Josh Gordons of the world who continuously messed up. They were just like,
Yeah.
contracts kept getting lower and lower. The cuts came quicker and quicker. Like, look, man, we don't have time for this.
Well, and even him, he was elite talent, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why he got as many tries as he did, was because it was Flash Gordon. Like, dude was fast. Got in and out of breaks really clean. Couldn't keep his life straight. But had he been like a wide receiver 2, fringe wide receiver 3,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you did it the first time, you're probably finding your way out of the league. And I think that Devers at this point might not be looking at another contract.
No.
Because he's proving that his attitude hasn't changed by switching ball clubs.
Right.
You know, it's one of the things I said with DK before was someone's going to give him a shot no matter what, because if you're a problem in your first location, or Diggs is a good example of this too, is if you're a little bit of an issue in your first location, someone will give you another shot, right? Because they're like, he'll be fine with our club, right? Like it was a them thing, it's a culture thing, it's coaching, whatever, right? And so then Diggs goes to Buffalo, and that falls apart. He's already a problem with the Patriots, and football hasn't even started. No practice hasn't even started. So, so it, I don't know. Like sometimes these guys are writing checks their talent can't catch.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you grow up, and at every level you're coddled or people love you and you're great at that level. But we've always said it, the pros is a different animal, and the field gets narrowed so much that it's a privilege to be there at the top level. Enough of those guys don't treat it like the privilege that it is,
Mm-hmm.
And that's where this kind of stuff comes in. But yeah, as the money continues to rise, that's what the owners are doing. Like, man, do we want to get another 10% bump for these, or 20% bump for people who are going to be problems? Or do I just not pay that guy and go get some, pretty good guys and keep it moving? And they've shown a willingness to move on from the problem. So, and I don't blame them. And the fans don't want to put up with this either. Like, look, I get it. Not everybody's loyal team wise, like maybe it was kind of in the past, because of all the changes, but can you at least be willing while you're here on this team to do what needs to do to win? So,
I mean, imagine you got contracted to put in a security system with cameras, and then you get there and you're like, you know what? I'm not putting in the wiring though.
Yeah.
At all. Just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, well, these cameras are useless then.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. And then to go along with that, once that happens, word gets out. And now all of a sudden, no one else wants to deal. Hey, that Herb guy, really difficult. I wanted him this place. He put him this place. He refused to do this. Came to work when he wanted to. Wouldn't hire that guy.
Well, I mean, at least part of that's true. Comes to work he wants,
I mean, that's why I got the shirt. So.
Yes. In a more fun note in the MLB, home run leader Cal, big dumper, hits number 36, and that is a franchise record for the Mariners, as hitting 36 home runs before the All-Star break, eclipsing 35 that was by Ken Griffey Jr. Pretty unique position. Obviously, the fastest for any catcher, the fastest for any switch hitter. all very cool stuff. Obviously, going to the All-Star, but he's in the MVP race.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, here in Seattle, people are like, yeah, MVP. It's like, okay, first off, he's not going to win because we're in Seattle and we don't get love from the media that way anyway.
Right.
At the same time, he's going up against Aaron Judge, who's batting a full point higher. And all the rest of the stats are pretty comparable.
Right.
So if you're just looking at the numbers, you take the teams away, the names away, Cal doesn't win. Right. So, I mean, Judge is, I think he's batting 360.
Yeah.
It's 340 or 360, something like that.
360 and Cal's at 268. So
yeah. It's a full point.
Yes.
And so it's just like, man, as much as it would be cool for a local team guy for a Mariner to win the MVP, it sure looks like Judge has more or less got this thing sewn up.
I mean, you said it before. You have to. And just to put that in perspective, if you switch those two and Cal had Judge's stats, Judge had Cal's stats, right? And Judge was leading the MVP race, we'd be screaming Yankee bias and stuff like that,
of course,
or whatever, you know, if that was the case. But if that's the way you're going to look at the argument, yeah, I mean, Judge has to be. Now, it doesn't take away from anything that Cal's done. I mean, it's still an amazing season.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Roger, you let me down with that one. I really thought you would come in with something different. Oh my goodness!
Oddly enough, Raj, the show starts whether you could show up or not. So our show started at the normal time.
Oh man! I texted him and I said, "Bo misses you, Raj," and then oh my goodness! No, still kudos to Cal. You know, even being mentioned in the MVP race and having the kind of season you have, that's amazing. And going to the All-Star game, well deserved. Well deserved.
So, because we talked about a legend in Will Clark, there's another legend that made a comment after the Astros absolutely beat the brakes off the Dodgers 18-1. And Oral Hershiser, another legend in the game, comes out and says, hate to open old wounds, but it sure seems like they know what's coming on these breaking balls. And when you get beat 18-1, it's a little hard to dispute that. At the same time, you get caught cheating once, you'll hear about it forever. I mean, look at the Patriots, right? Deflategate was years ago now. Brady's retired.
Yep.
And it's still brought up all the time.
Yep. Any way that you can knock somebody down, you're still going to try to do it.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is I mean, getting beat 18-1, you have to think that somebody was tipping pitches. Right. Now, it doesn't mean you're cheating. It can just mean you're paying attention, right? I mean, if the pitcher changes his stance or there's something the catcher is doing that allows you to know that this breaking ball is coming, part of your job is to pay attention to that, right? Like, you're paid to hit the ball. So now, if you're banging trash cans, yeah, that's cheating, right? But if you got a guy on second that is, sees something and is waving to you, I mean, that's just heads up playing in baseball, and that's been done since the beginning of baseball. So, yeah, it's
and that was the whole thing. If it's something on the field that somebody picks up, Mr. U, I can't get Mr. U to drop by our show anymore and say hello, but he's up in the morning. I hope I get a bad text with it. Hey, what's up, Michael? They have their show on every Tuesday night, same time as ours. It's a wrestling show, though. So sometimes in the middle of our show, I go over and type and say, "Hey, what's up?"
Absolutely.
Yes. Raj, don't be jealous that I'm at the beach and you're not. I spent the whole travel budget on this, so.
That's right. He's at Bed Bath & Beyond. That's the Beyond section.
Yes. And people keep coming by and wanting to look in this section and shop. And I'm like, hey, don't you see I'm doing a podcast? Wait till 9.
That's right. If you guys could not talk over there.
I know. store manager's over there ranting about something. Hey, buddy, knock it down. Keep it down, okay? I feel like I froze instead of you freezing.
No, that was me.
Oh,
That
okay.
was me. Yeah. No, I got the little buffering wheels.
Gotcha.
So
I can never tell when I'm on location too. I'm like, I don't know what the internet likes is here, so who knows?
yeah, I find that just signal in general doesn't really seem to matter where you are. It's always a little bit sketch, right? Like
Yes.
you could be hardwired and somehow it's like you've lost connections. Like I'm literally connected.
Dude, at the house when I do this show, because of the way our house is, and I can't, figure out yet how it comes downstairs. I have my cord that comes all the way. I made a super long cord that comes down the steps and then there and hooked up. And sometimes I get the wheel and I'm like, I can do nothing to improve this connection at this point. Like I'm done.
Exactly.
This is it. So
Yeah. No, it's why I talk so much about Comcast. Like fix your stuff.
yes, please.
You basically have just shy of a monopoly. Like, come on.
Same.
I keep waiting for him to just like shut mine down. Just be like, oh, you want to talk, huh? All right, go on.
Problem is, if they shut it down, you wouldn't know if they were shutting you down or if it was just business as normal.
Exactly.
Oh, I was being punished. No, didn't know. Couldn't tell.
Yeah, it seemed pretty normal. Yeah. Oh man. So in the weird, because there's not a lot going on in the NFL, but this happened. So you have the Diggs, Cardi B weirdness that has all gone on. Obviously they had the boat party that he missed OTAs for. They had the weird gathering where they ended up in a castle or something. I don't know. I don't follow it that close, but so now the story that comes out is now they broke up. And if you're the Patriots, you have to almost be relieved, right? Because otherwise this could have been like a whole lot of chaos all through the season. But if they break up now, you're just like, okay, maybe he'll actually pay attention to football. That's the hope, I guess. Like he's still going to be a problem because it's Diggs, but maybe he can just focus his problem on one thing instead of just being a problem across the board.
I don't. Well, so I've been reading articles and everything about it, trying to find, and now the source says they're not officially broken up. So now, guess what? Now you get to go back and forth and wonder.
Perfect. Never mind. If you're the Patriots, you're just like, come on.
Just do it. If I'm the Patriots, I keep circulating that picture of him with all them girls around him and going like, hey, does this help with the breakups or anything? No? Okay. Sorry.
Well, I think she was one of them though.
Yeah, so I guess she did. She didn't mind. So
yeah.
If I'm the Patriots, I'm trying to do anything to break up that relationship.
Or are you just trying to break up the relationship with Diggs and just move on? Be like, hey,
Sorry. When you said it, though, no, I think that's the better. We said this. We kind of talked about off air. You haven't made it to practice, and it's already a lot of drama. That's
exactly
wild. You expected game 8, game 9. He had 2 targets. He's upset. That drama, that was built into the Diggs experience.
Exactly.
It's like when you get on the roller coaster and you hit that dip right there, you're like, yeah, that's what I expected. But they got on this roller coaster and the roller coaster went this way instead. You're like, whoa, wait, hold on.
You're like, I didn't realize a mine shaft was part of this ride.
You know what I mean? And now it's just wild. So I don't know. It's just not going to be worth the overall experience, And I don't think for Diggs, he realizes every single one of these things that comes up just means we're expecting more from you, for the rest of the season. So
I don't know if you'd wish that on your Alabama team.
No, I would definitely not.
I mean, the thing is if you could separate his talent from his drama, it'd be amazing. Yeah. Right? He does have elite skills, but he's just too much of a problem outside of that, which is why the Vikings got rid of him. It's why the Bills got rid of him, because it's not like his skill set went away, right? It's why the Texans didn't bring him back. He gets hurt and they're just like, yeah, you know what? That couple of games that you had was actually enough for us.
Yep. We're good. I think everybody realizes that, you know, like the Bills, he was great for them in the beginning, but the ride wears itself out soon. And like I said, you're willing to walk away from it. So, yeah. And for a guy to be that big of a game changer and you're willing to walk away, that tells you that the extra stuff is way too much.
Exactly. And if you're Diggs, that's the part that's crazy to me. It's like you're forcing your way off of teams that are in the playoffs, and now you're going to teams that are gonna be bad, right? Like, you don't add enough to make the Patriots good.
Right.
Right. So you go from the Vikings, which, you know, was an ascending team, playoff team. Awesome. You go to the Bills, you find yourself in a better situation somehow. And you become toxic in that situation. And then you go to the Texans. Somehow you land at another team that looked primed for the playoffs. And then you get hurt. You're not really a factor. Now you're finding yourself in a position in your career where your abilities are not outshining your problem. Right. You know, like, because if he had a good attitude, he'd still be on the Bills roster.
Yeah. Well, and it's like he just couldn't handle. I mean, actually, I don't even know what he couldn't handle because he was still one of the prime guys. But it's like you said, I don't think. And the thing about wide receivers, they're all divas, you know, because it is a, hey, look at me position. I have to rely on somebody. I could be the greatest wide receiver, but if I don't have a guy who throws me the ball, like, I'm just, you know, yeah, Herb was open all over the place. Just, you know, nobody could ever get it to him. So I get that part of it. But there's a line that too many of them jump across from the me to like, oh, me. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I can get away and do everything because I'm this great. So no, it's ridiculous. I mean, it was telling when he got to the Texans, and before anything even happened, they've waited all those years and said, yeah, we've got you for 1 year. So we don't think this is going to last.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you're in a position that does require someone else to be able to do their job.
Right.
Why are you forcing yourself away from a guy like Cousins, who all he does is throw for 4,500 yards?
Right.
Or Josh Allen,
right,
who just slings the rock whether you're covered or not. Yeah. Right? I mean,
he's down there somewhere.
Exactly. You're just like, hoping for the best. So I just don't understand, in a position that is so reliant on someone else. Like, you can't create your own destiny as a receiver. Like, you have to have a guy that can throw you the ball. You need an offensive line that can protect him. And you're forcing your way off of teams that have those elements to go play for bad teams because your attitude is terrible.
Yes.
It's why I really thought he was going to go play with his brother in Dallas. It just would have made sense to end your career in one of the more toxic environments.
Yes. Yes. Him and Jerry Jones feuding over stuff would have been great. Calling out Dak because he didn't realize he's not the number one wide receiver on that team. So, but those kind of guys always think that they are. And that's the other part of it. They don't care when they've lost a step. They don't care how it ends up. They always think that they're the number one guy. So he absolutely would have got there and said, yeah, you know, it's me, then CD. And they'd been like, not sure that's how that works right now.
Yeah. But, you know, I think that's why everybody likes Larry Fitzgerald so much.
Yeah.
Is because they're like, look, you need to move inside. And that's where his career really took off. Was he good as an outside receiver? Absolutely.
And I'd actually forgotten about the part.
And I froze up for a second. Okay. But, you know, was he good as an outside receiver? Absolutely. But when they moved him inside, that's when his career, that's when he became Larry.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, so many of these guys should take a page out of that, because he extended his career by like 8 years doing that, because he wasn't a lot of noise. He was that consummate pro. Right. And learned how to play the game from that slot to become who he became.
Right.
And so many of these guys are like, I'm the outside receiver. That's it. And it's just like, well, I mean, maybe, but you can have a lot longer career if you
Doing this.
are a good pro.
Yeah. And here's a guy who did that for the team. And like you said, actually helped out his career and just never caused problems. So you can see, you can see that it can be done. But, for every one of those, you get another, like he's mentioned up there with ABTO Diggs. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
See the difference with T.O., and this is why I feel like it's a little bit different, is his stuff was off the field. You never had to worry about his effort on the field.
Oh yeah.
Like when it was game day, he was there to play. Yeah. And you never had to think twice about it. I mean, that was one of the issues with Randy Moss, right? Is just like, yeah, he's a otherworldly talent, but he takes plays off.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, we need this running play to work. Is he actually going to try? And that was a question. Right. And so, yeah, that was the thing with T.O. is you never had to guess. And so that's the thing, is he lasted in the league way longer because they're like, okay, you know what, his off the field stuff is what it is. But for this 60 minutes, we know he's going to give us everything he's got.
Yep.
And so that buys you a lot of stuff. When you start looking at guys like Diggs or AB. I mean, AB was another level because he gave up the deuces and ran off the field. But I mean,
that's
Diggs
legendary for the wrong reasons.
Crazy. But when you look at Diggs, like there's times that you can see the effort wasn't always there.
Right.
And if you're not giving your best effort on the field, then all of your off the field noise starts to loom large over your career.
I agree.
Because if they start to guess whether or not you're starting to take plays off, yeah, now we're not interested because we need you every play. So, yeah. I feel like this is probably Diggs' last stop.
You would think. Because at this point, who wants to take a chance? Because you're kind of at the point where the teams that are contenders don't necessarily need to sign a number one, but they could use another good, maybe number two.
Yeah.
And is Diggs really the guy that you want to sign and say, hey, look, you're going to be our number 2 or number 3 wide receiver. We just need a good guy in that spot. We can maybe win the whole thing. And do you feel like Diggs is going to swallow his ego enough to go, yeah, I can do that? No, I don't think so. So,
yeah. and no. And the thing that's funny is it's those types of things that'll keep you from winning a ring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it accolades that's important to you, or is it championships? Like for me, I want to win.
Right.
Like the ring is the ultimate goal there. All the rest of it's cool, and it'll be good for, Hall of Fame consideration, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you want some hardware.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
especially if you're at the point where, like, I wasn't playing Panama City Beach. Especially if you're at the point where, like, it's not one of those, hey, I played for one team my entire career. Yeah. If you're at the point where you're moving around, then yes, you should be. They say ring chasing. What else are you playing for? Are you taking, hey, this guy's offering 20 mil to go just be terrible, and this guy's offering 18 and you could be on a championship team? Is that ring chasing, or is that just smart decision making?
I mean, if you're playing sports, you are ring chasing. I don't know why else you play. Like, if you're not playing to win, you need a different profession.
Yeah.
Because competitive sports, emphasis on the first part, is competitive.
Yes.
You're trying to win.
Yes.
That being said, that does get us to the top of the hour. Thanks for tuning in for us today. And, we'll see y'all next week. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Otherwise, take it easy, everybody.
See y'all.